Hi, and welcome to the very first episode of my knitting podcast. My name is Lisa, and this is the channel LiseLight, where I share a bunch of stuff on knitting and other creative projects that I'm working on. The channel was in the beginning in Danish. Now I'm switching over to English, and I'm going to share quite a lot about my knitting journey, hoping that you might find value from it. Um, I won't go into too much detail about that. I might make an episode where I talk about my development as a knitter. But just a few words about myself. I'm Lisa, and I have, on the side of all the knitting and all the stuff, I am a consultant in marketing. I work with a bunch of clients in Denmark mostly, and help them with marketing and all this sort of stuff. And then I'm an avid knitter. The short version is I've been known how to knit since I was a kid. But seriously knitting, in the sense of strictly following patterns and developing my skills and so forth, probably for the last 3 or 4 years. So a lot of stuff has been going on. That's why I think it would be kind of fun to do an episode perhaps where I go through the development in my knitting, because I think when you start out knitting, maybe some of you can relate, when you start out knitting, there's so much you don't know, which is actually good because you just sort of throw yourself into it. And then as time goes by, I've definitely developed a lot and increased my skills, my know-how, and all this sort of stuff. So I want to share with you today, completely traditional, what I have finished objects. There's a lot of gifting stuff in it. So if you're related to me, you cannot keep watching this episode. You have to wait till after Christmas. But if not, you can safely watch as we go along. I will put the details down below. There is one item where I simply cannot remember where I found the pattern. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's easy to find a similar one. But for the rest of them, I'll try to put all the details in the description box below. Um, I do use Ravelry for my research and finding patterns, buying patterns and stuff, but I haven't been very good at updating Ravelry. I probably should, because it's the easiest way to find stuff. So maybe that'll be my New Year's resolution, that I'll start doing that, because I haven't really been very good at doing that. So anyways, the first item I will show you in the podcast is very traditional pair of socks. These are the Sunday socks by Petite Knit. Bunch of you probably know this pattern. It's great. It's easy to it's fast because it's knit on needles 4 millimeter. I'm sorry, I don't know the conversion to American sizes, so I hope that's okay. I use the recommended yarn from Sandnes Yarn. It's called Perfect, I think, and it's just a beautiful, simple construction. Basically, they're on the thicker side. I would say this is for a gift, and specifically somebody one of my daughters who more or less asked for a pair of comfy socks like this. And I think they're great to wear around the house. I think to wear, you would have to have a pair of like large rain boots or something in order to wear it, because they're really thick, which is not so practical in my mind. I don't need for myself a lot of socks of this type of thing, but then again, they're really, really cozy and nice and just simple. So very easy knit and just pleasant all around. So that's item number one. And then the second one is, and this, I have a couple of projects in progress, which are also going to be included. But the first one is this Harris hood. It's not blocked yet, so it looks a little sad up here. And the reason for this, I'm actually gifting 3 things to one of my very dear friends. And the thing is, I got there's a Danish yarn company, and you'll see it again and again in this podcast. It's called Vadils, Wadils. And to be honest, I don't know if they ship internationally, but I'm kind of obsessed with the stuff they have. They have some pretty good offers. I've gone to also like what do you call it? Like sort of a open house type thing. You buy it online. You don't buy it in the stores. You buy it online. But then once in a while, they have open house type arrangements where they have a bunch of good offers. And I've got some really, really good deals with them, and I really like the stuff that they the yarns that they sell. So in relation with an order I placed with them, I was gifted. It was like a bonus that they gave out. A bunch of these guys. It's called soft wool. It's 80% wool and 20% PES. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Some type of I don't know if it's recycled or something. I'm not completely sure, but it's very soft. It also has this like cute little baby baby lamb on it. It's really soft. So I've been doing a bunch of different projects with this yarn because it's in a pretty gray color. I'm not very good in colder colors myself, but one of my daughters, two of my daughters are, and also my friend. I think this would look very, very cool, and it's very elegant. It's a nice, really nice color. So I've been experimenting with doing a bunch of projects with this, holding it double. So the one that's finished is this Harris hood. Um, and this is a pattern by Cheryl Mokhtari that I think I saw it in somebody's knitting podcast. It's full of little fluffs at the moment, and I really liked it. I did one for myself in the beginning where I used the recommended yarn, which was Sandness Smart, held double with one of their mohairs, like alpaca, or like a thin mohair type thingy. And I really liked it. Like it, it's very elegant because it's sort of loose. It sits quite loose on you. The only thing that I wasn't too much a fan of is I think this part down here at the neck ought to be a little longer. Not crazy long, but just a little bit longer. Also, I have kind of a long neck, so maybe that's also part of it. So I wanted to change that. Not sure if I managed completely. It is a little longer, and then also it's not blocked yet. So I feel like it fits the dimensions completely. So I held the this yarn double, and got a gauge with it, and it worked out pretty well. So it's got a double edge here at the neckline, and then it's got a short little ribbing here, and then it's finished with a tubular bind off, which was also new to me. So that was kind of fun, but that worked out pretty well, I think. So that's one of the gifts for her. I'll come back when I show you my work in progress to show what else I have. And then for finished objects, I have more stuff, but I think I'll show it in a different podcast, because I've been knitting for a long time, so I could potentially show you a bunch of stuff, and we would be here for hours. So I don't think that's going to be very smart. So this is the object where I, for the life of me, cannot remember which pattern I followed. This is knit in Drops Merino. I had a couple of skeins, three I think left over, from I don't know, other projects from earlier on, and I kind of feel like I needed something. Good project, a hat of some kind, and this is really soft, which is very nice. So it's just a simple beanie, 2x2 rib, and then it's increased at the top for this pattern, which I think is pretty cute. So very simple and basic, actually. I was a little in doubt because it's very, very stretchy. So I was like, I kind of like for myself a hat with a little more structure. But I had it's for my oldest daughter, and my youngest daughter was sort of a test person for it, and she was basically considering whether she should just borrow it before it was gifted. So I think that's a good sign. She wasn't allowed to, but I definitely think that's a good sign, because it probably means it's approved. So this was marine. I think it's just called merino from Drops, held double again, so it's got a little bit of warmth and thickness. I started out with a single strand of the same merino, doing the, I think it's called the um, Pearl Soho. It's from Pearl Soho. It's like just like a simple ribbed beanie that I think you can find the pattern for free online. But I felt like it got too light and flimsy. The thing is, when you want to use a hat in Denmark, it's fairly cold. Not like crazy like minus 15 degrees cold. It rarely gets that cold anymore in Denmark, but it can be windy and nasty outside. So when you want to wear a hat, you definitely want something that has more warmth. And this is really soft, and it's I think it's very nice. I mean, again, you can find patterns like this pretty much all over the place. So, yeah, I have no recollection exactly of which pattern I ended up with, because I was considering so many different options. I kind of felt like I wanted to do something with cables on it. But again, my youngest daughter was a judge of that, and she was like, nope, this is way more cool. So, anyways, I think the other option was cool as well. But I ended up just with a simple beanie for her, so I'm happy to be able to gift that to her. So that's another finished object. I have a bunch of stuff that I'm working on right now. So let's start with the same yarn again, the soft wool from Vedils. Um, this is kind of interesting, because this is like a mix of different things. I wanted to do mittens, and I found several different patterns. I don't have them noted down, but I can list the ones that I looked at. And they had pros and cons. I liked the pattern with this folded down like rib at the end of it, because the idea is, just try to put it on. The idea is you can fold it down so you have like a longer, warmer sort of thing going on, and then you can fold it down so you have a little more like maneuver room. And my friend has a little dog. She goes for a lot of walks with him, and I figured these were practical because you can still sort of move around. I think it's a little bit tight, but also it's not blocked, and it's there's cables on top of it. So I think it'll probably loosen up a little bit. You might actually use these over a pair of thin leather gloves. That would look really cool. And so I'm sort of following a pattern and then not, because the other pattern I saw fit my gauge better with the yarn and the sort of the fabric that I wanted. I wanted it to be fairly like dense and warm. And I found a pattern that fit the bill, but it had a short has a short ribbing up here, and I'll put it in the box below so you can see it. But then it had a beautiful pattern here, but with a bunch of where you do yarn over, so a bunch of almost like lace type thing. It looked a little bit like a cable, but there were holes in it, and that's just impractical. Again, with the cold, I just felt like that's not for the climate that we have. When you want to wear these, you definitely want to keep your hands warm, and I don't think that fit the bill. So I ended up changing the pattern, just figuring out my own pattern. So what I did was two cables, one going to the right, one going to the left, and then just stockinette in the middle, and then a little bit of purling on each side, so you can clearly see the pattern. And then there's a pearl also here, and then it's just stockinette in here. Also, the pattern I'm loosely following wanted to go almost, maybe I misunderstood it, but it looked like it was going to go straight into ribbing on the thumb. When you pick that up, you can see I'm in the middle of that. And I started doing that, and I felt like that was too short. I wanted to have the ribbing go out to here. I have quite long fingers, and I don't think my friend has that, but I still want it to be a little like longer. So I'm doing stockinette for about a centimeter more, and then doing the short ribbings, like 4 rows of ribbing. And I think they're really cute. I might actually do more, because I'm thinking, when I gift it to my friend, I have a feeling my daughters are going to say, "Wait, I want one of those too," because it's practical and it's really cute. So one is almost done, and it was quick. It took like an evening to do it. So I'm thinking that these will work up really, really fast. And then where is it? Um, yeah, and then I'm going to do socks for her as well. Again, held double. This is also held double. And I've started the everyday socks. By who are they by? I can't even remember. I'll put it in the notes below. And I'm going back and forth with myself, because the pattern for the smaller size, I'm not exactly on gauge, I think. And also I got a bit lazy, so my bad. I hate doing gauge swatches. I've said it now. Really hate it, and I know that I have to, and I do when it's bigger, important pieces. But I kind of felt like I was looking at the everyday, no, or the Sunday sock that's knit on 4 millimeter needles with one strand of this yarn from Sendness that's made for it, and it's got 40 stitches around. And then this called for, I'm holding it double and using needles number 3. Um, and it called for 48 stitches for the smallest size, and I just felt like that was enormous. So this is 40. This is what I ended up trying out, and now that I feel like they may look too small. And then again, I know that socks increase when you use them, so this is not quite the same thickness as this. um, but I don't know. I'm really very much in doubt. I might actually take this out and then start over and do maybe 44 instead of 48. But just the 4 more than what I have now, because it is probably a little bit on the smaller side. So those are the considerations. I haven't gotten very far. It's going to be quick to do. So it's basically the same kind of construction as this. And the reason I didn't follow this pattern was that this is not quite as thick as the other one. So I figured maybe I should just go with the other pattern. I don't know. I'll figure that out. And so the moral probably is that when you don't want to do a gauge swatch, you end up spending more time fiddling back and forth trying to make it the right size. So maybe that's a lesson for me. I don't know. Let me know if you are the same, that you hate the gauge swatching. It seems like some people love it and they spend a lot of time on it, and for me it's just it's not pointless, because I do understand why it's important, but I really don't like it. So anyways, that's work in progress. So you'll have a nice little gift arrangement of a hood, a pair of socks, and nice mittens or mitts that are really warm. So I think that's going to be a pretty lovely gift. So I'm looking forward to gifting that to her. Okay, other stuff I have in progress. Sorry, Nordlund is doing this Christmas. I think she always does that. This Christmas like roundup thing where she presents a pattern every day, and then you get a discount on her patterns. It's a cute little tradition, and she has so many neat patterns that it makes a lot of sense for her to do that. Um, I jumped in and bought the Robin beanie pattern from her. Again, just a simple beanie. And the reason is I got this yarn quite a long time ago. It's Viking yarn. It's called alpaca brie. And it's um, quite a thick strand of yarn. And I think I fell in love with the sweater on that I saw the pattern on. So I bought the recipe of like the, what do you call it, the pattern and the yarn. And when I got it, I was a little disappointed because the yarn, it's nice. It has a bit of the um, yeah, it reminds me a little bit about or reminds me of Drops Sky, I think it's called, maybe a little thicker, but it's the color is way too bluish for me. You probably can't see it on the, but I'm definitely more to the warmer colors in my color palette. I'm definitely, jewelry wise, it's always golden hues. It's all these softer, warmer tones are usually better on me. And I love a red. And also, yeah, I mean, I wear pink today on my lips. I love like a bright pop of color here and there. But this is very, very bluish red, which is not what I got from the photo I saw, which of course it's very difficult to buy yarn online because the colors may not turn out to be the way you wanted it to. So the thought of having a sweater, like a huge piece of garment in this color, kind of put me off a little bit. So it's been sitting in my closet and like laughing at me for a while because I have a quantity for a whole sweater, but I really didn't feel like that. So then when she came out with, it's been around for a long time, but her robin beanie, I figured was a nice pop of color. The only thing is very thick, which is nice, but it's the beanie is meant for like a double folded cuff, and that's the only thing I'm a little bit in doubt of whether that's going to be enormous around my head, whether I only want it to have like a single fold because it's so thick because of the fluffiness of the yarn. So at I'm right here at the moment. I think it's meant to be 41 centimeters in total. It's just simple 2 by 2 rib, and it started from the top going down, which I already closed it up because I wanted to see how it looked, and which is a really neat construction, I feel like. And it's knit on, I think, 3 millimeter needles. I might have been able to go up a little size, but I actually wanted also the dense fabric so that it's actually warm. So I might actually put one of those tube thingies on it so that I can just try it on and see what I feel like. Whether I should end it here and just do a single like fold up, or whether I want to do the whole thing. So it's definitely going to be a warm beanie, but I felt like this color, I know it's still around my face, but it's just in a smaller portion, so to speak. And then I figured maybe I'll do these guys also with this yarn. I don't know if the cable is going to drown in it. Maybe just do a ribbing version of it, so I have a matching set. I think that could be kind of cool. And then who knows what I'm going to do with the rest of the yarn. It's alpaca, so it's actually it's 60% baby alpaca, 11% merino, and 29% nylon. So quite a bit of nylon in it, but I still think it's going to be very warm. So I'm hoping this will bring use to the stash of yarn that's otherwise just sitting in my closet. So I'm actually pretty excited about this. And the two other things, this is exciting. This is my very first endeavor into cable knitting, and it's not done. It's not a vest. It is supposed to be a sweater. This is the Seaview sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl. I've been intimidated by doing cable knitting for a long, long time, but I decided that I'm just going to throw myself into it. And I did some research on different patterns of what to do and what not to do. And I think it was recommended that this was a great pattern to start with. And it definitely is a pattern with a lot of instruction. You feel like she's holding your hand the whole way through. It's just great. And I mean, I blocked this because I was a little bit worried about the size. I did do a gauge swatch for this because I figured there's no way I'm going to spend all this time doing this if it doesn't work out. And I think it's beautiful. So I'm at the point where I need to pick up stitches for the sleeves. And that's it, because I did the neck because I wanted to be sure that that it turned out the way I wanted it to. The only thing I'm considering a little bit, the pattern calls for you do the ribbing and then you do like a pearl round, so it sort of marks where you fold it down and then you close it up on the inside. And I'm not sure I'm crazy about how that looks with the pearl stitch there. It's not bad, but I'm not crazy about it. It's an effect. I think I need to warm up to it a little bit. But it definitely helped when it was blocked, because it's got this nice shoulder construction where you start out doing the back with some German short rows and that sort of stuff. And then when you're at a certain point, you pick up for the front, and then you join in the round when you get to this part. So pretty basic stuff. But I think it's beautiful, and I'm actually really proud of the fact that I've been able to do this. I put it aside a little bit because of all the gift knitting, because I need to get that done. We're about yeah, a little more than a week away from Christmas, so this will be my probably Christmas holiday work to get this done, because I really want to wear it. I'm looking so much forward to it. And the yarn I'm using, again, it's Vedi, the same company, sort of, because it's actually, this is not their yarn, but it's something called Gioa Baby. It's merino wool. And then I held it double with their silk mohair. And in this, and this color is called, oh my goodness, I don't have my glasses on. That's a mistake. I'll check out the color of it and put it in the description below so you can see it. But it's 100% merino, and then this silk mohair is, let's see, it's 72% super kid mohair and 28% silk. And this is very soft and nice. At least for me, I'm not that sensitive to wool, so I don't think I would have any problems even if it was less soft. But it's very soft, and it's going to be such a beautiful sweater. It's going to fit with a little bit of positive ease, but not a huge amount, which I kind of like, because I tend to sometimes go for the huge sizes, and I feel like it for this particular style, I think it looks better with just a little bit of a little less positive ease. Yep, another work in progress. This is kind of chaotic to show you, but I'll try anyways. This is another classic, I guess, from Petite Knit, the Eva cardigan. And it's not blocked, so that's why, and it's also in progress, so it looks a little chaotic. But this is where we're at, and it's also difficult to see because I chose a dark chocolate brown color, which I love. I'm into browns these days so much. I have had a period with not a lot of brown in my wardrobe, and now I'm back to, I need more of it. This chocolate brown is just delicious. It's difficult to pick up on the camera, I believe, but it's a very dark brown. It may look black on screen. So I'm at the point where I've done the sleeve almost. I need to do the ribbing in the bottom of it. I actually ended up extending the sleeve a little bit. I did the ribbing and the buttonholes. My buttonholes are not the prettiest I've ever done. There was something very confusing about the way it was made. Afterwards, I figured I could have done it in a different way, but then again, it's going to be fine, because I think I'm going to probably use this mostly um, buttoned, so I don't think anybody will notice. And it of course needs to be blocked, but it's a beautiful construction. You have this nice detail. I don't know if you can even see it on with this dark thing. I might put in some pictures where you can see the details. But this shoulder construction, where you pick it up and whatnot, and then you just knit. I saw somebody in a podcast who was creating this steeking it, so which means that you knit it all the way down to where it starts, like here when it just goes straight down, and then you actually you add in you do it in the round, and then you add in a piece where you sew it and then you cut it. And I kind of want to do that again because the back and forth stockinette is actually pretty hard. It gets mindless at a point, and I'm proud to say that I'm pretty good at making it even. It looks good, even though it's back and forth stockinette in the flat. That sometimes messes up your, it's sometimes difficult to make it even, but I'm managing that pretty well. I think that is because I've been knitting for so many years and known how to knit. I think that helps me here. But I still feel like that would be so fast if you could just go in the round at that point, because I could see this sleeve that's knit in the round. This worked up so fast. I mean, I think I did the sleeve in an evening or something. I mean, and the other part, I feel like I've been knitting on this forever. And this is another one I really want to finish it because I really want to wear it. I think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of it. And this is Vadil again, and just one single strand of their wool, regular wool, 100% wool. It's definitely coarse, a little more rustic than I know a lot of people probably like. There's something about it that I just love. Again, like close to the neck, it might be even. I think I could actually tolerate it. But there's something about it because I feel like it's gonna hold up forever. And it's just going to stay the same. There's not going to be any surprises with it. Pilling is probably going to be minimal. And I don't know, but I think it is. If you see little fuzzies, it's actually from other yarns. So yeah, that's not this yarn stewing. So this yarn I've used for a bunch of stuff. It's reasonable in price. It's very good quality. I feel like it's very pleasant to work with. I mean, the very soft yarn can actually be tough on the hands, I feel like, when it's too slippery, sort of. So I really enjoy this. So I'm hoping that next time I do a podcast episode, that I can actually reveal this as a finished object. Let's hope so. Plus the other one. So the last one, the thing I want to share with you are my plans. I'm struggling a little bit with like coming up with how the heck this is going to work out. But let's see if maybe you have suggestions for me. I gifted myself this book from Veronica Lindberg from Kutova Kika, Knits to Wear, her new book, and I'm actually in love with quite a lot of the stuff she has in here. I like her stuff. I've done other stuff from her before, and there was one sweater I had to leave. I don't know if it was me, but I could not for the life of me figure it out. But other than that, I really like her patterns. So I have this in mind. This is called the Coffee Run Sweater. I don't know if you can see it. It's a very simple raglan construction with just visible raglan increases. I believe it's knit from the top down, and just very simple, straight, easy to wear sweater that I think I would get a ton of use from in my wardrobe. And again, there was a sale at Vadil, so I struck gold, I feel like. But then again, I'm a little bit confused of how this is going to work out because I bought another one of their wools, but it's called Uno. And it's a little thinner than the other one, and I don't think I realized that. And then I bought their super kid mohair in these beautiful green colors. Um, so the thing is, if I try to meet gauge for this sweater, holding it two strands together is going to be too little. It's going to be too thin. So my struggle right now is, do I do two strands of this held with one strand of this? I tried two strands of this and one strand of this, and I felt that that was maybe too compact. And yeah, and then I was struggling back and forth. Do I do another green color? Because I think, again, I bought this online. It looks lighter green on screen, I feel like, than it does in real life. I think definitely the mohair is darker green than I anticipated, or more muted green. And so I was thinking a little bit whether I should um, get a third green to put it with, or whether that's going to be confusing. So I'm a little bit at a standstill. I did gauge watch for this. That's how I know. And I'm not completely sold on any of the options as of yet. But I really do feel like this could be so nice for the sweater. So I got to figure out something. So any good advice, let me know. Also, I don't want to make the cost go through the roof by adding a bunch of new stuff to it. So we'll see. It might be two strands of this and one strand of this at the end. We'll see. Yep. And the last thing, again, from their sale, it's not their own yarn, but it's called Valparaiso. It's an alpaca silk, which is so nice. It's 100% alpaca baby, it says. It's so soft. It's so nice. It's a raspberry color, and I just adore this color. It looks very pink, almost magenta on screen. It's more muted, with a little bit of what do you call it? Like a little bit of white, almost like cream, mixed in with I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can probably see it like this. It's beautiful, and I think it'll be perfect. And what I intend to use it for is the cumulus blouse. And again, I run into I have difficulty getting the fabric to be the way I want it to, because if I just the swatch I did, I felt like it was too see-through. I needed to be more dense, so I think I will hold this together with something, but I haven't figured out what yet. So that's going to be my research phase that I go into to figure out how to do this, because or maybe I'll just try to see if I can meet gauge by decreasing the needle size and seeing if, because I actually want to use this by itself. I think that would look so nice. Or maybe just holding it double, who knows? I'll see. Because it is pretty thin. It's not DK weights. And then again, I'm so confused about the weights of the yarn, because I feel like yeah, it's not, it seems like there's a big variation of it. So yeah, I apologize. I'm very confused about that term. We don't use it as much in Denmark, so you don't necessarily get told what kind of gauge or what kind of weight your yarn is. So that makes it even harder to figure out. But anyways, I'm gonna experiment, because I really love this color, and I think a blouse like that would just be beautiful. So I'm hoping that will work out. I think that's what I have for the podcast today. I want to thank you for sticking by my first podcast. If you're still here, thank you so much. I hope you want to subscribe to my channel and follow my journey, my knitting journey. I love this community. I love all the valuable insights that I've gained from watching other podcasts. So much good stuff, so much inspiration, so many good ideas, all this stuff. So I'm really, really happy about being part of that. So That being said, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I hope you enjoy, hopefully, a little bit of time off with your family. And I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.